You have 68 wins. You cannot 69 Nina.
Hey everyone, it is the center of attention, Brittany Brooks, and you are watching Simply Reliable Studios.
Come on over, Sam. I'm being. See, earlier I said something stupid to him, and now this is my receipt. Okay.
Sabu's just sabotaging you.
Yeah. He sure did.
Hijack.
Yeah, he's taking over.
Hijacking is a better word. You're right.
Good luck.
Shout out to Simply Reliable Studios making their Symphony debut, sponsoring this match and the entire Dragon Kai demonstration.
Heyo, this is Jack Cartwheel. You are watching Simply Reliable Studios.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Noah. I believe in Datula.
The Meltzer of the multiverse. Who the fuck wants to compare themselves to another? How much of a mark do you have to be? You couldn't even pick a professional athlete. You went with a fucking journalist? Grow up, man.
We just want to say thank you to Simply Reliable Studios for voting us as Tag Team of the Year.
Of course.
Because you know what they say, right? If you can't swim,
You're bound to drown.
Tonight, she is sponsored by Simply Reliable Studios from Orlando, Florida. She is everybody's favorite BFF, Izzy Marino.
Get it? Got it.
And welcome back in once again, everybody, to the Simply Reliable Studios live watch long schedule of total nonstop action for the inaugural Knockouts Television Championship Tournament and then some as we continue forward tonight with Thursday Night Impact brought to you by TNA on the AMC or for the TNA Plus app as I am watching. So welcome once again, everybody, to TNA Impact Thursday night and welcome in once again to Simply Reliable Studios and the Impact Lounge. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Hello, everybody, and welcome back in here once again to the Simply Reliable Studios. You know what this is. For I am the man, the simple brand, the voice of the rest. We're grateful for all the professional wrestling, damn it, and my name is Noel Foster. Thank you all for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend. If you want to dictate the conversation, super chat or pay by the passions. It's as simple as that. Tonight, we have the X Division Championship on the line. Mustafa Ali has the state of the order for address. We have two more matches for the Knockouts World Television Championship Tournament opening rounds, as well as Bronson versus Ricky Sosa, who's continuing to look forward and follow his winning momentum last week alongside Leon Slater. We also will hear once again from the TNA World Champion Nick Nemeth as we continue forward towards Lethal Lockdown. So welcome in once again, everybody, to Total Nonstop Action. This is Thursday Night Impact. As I bring up my feed right now, we are, of course, doing the intro. I still say the old theme was better. We Own the Night will always be legendary, in my opinion. All right, let's see where kicking things off here. We are coming from Albany, New York. Once again, of course, these are pre-tapes, but again, we made hashtag spoiler free here and honor and respect the integrity of the episode that we are seeing tonight in conjunction with the collaborative action that the audience saw there live. As TNA Impact is once again on the airways. And Brando, good to see you. I think Alexander will retain, though, in my opinion. It's Fabian Aichner's first opportunity singles for the Edgerton title. And with the system backing up Cedric Alexander, usually when the system works, it's the numbers in their favor. Fabian Aichner's on an island of his own, and I think Cedric Alexander needs to prove himself tonight, whether it's by system shenanigans or by his merit as a cruiserweight champion. Let's go down to Mackenzie Mitchell for our opening match introductions. And it looks like we're immediately getting into the action, kicking things off with more of the first round of the TNA Knockouts Television Tournament as we have another qualifying match here as M by Elegance looks to qualify tonight, much like Heather by Elegance qualified. And unfortunately, T.W.P. Herman is here. And I've already lost interest, but nonetheless, here we go. And by Elegance, Maggie Lee, of course, former TNA Knockouts Tag Team Champion. Before, of course, Demon X Bunny sees the title. Shout out again to Laura Denise, a.k.a. the Bunny Alley. Wishing her all the best in her recovery. Look at this, the blind leading the blind. What a shame. And for those that don't know, here is what the bracket looks like right now for the inaugural TNA Knockouts Television Championship Tournament. Again, folks, the winner of this title will not only be the first champion, it will be strictly contended for and defended only on weekly Impact television. It will not be on pay-per-views. As you can see by this graphic, we currently have the following: Jody Fret, Mar Sade, headed by Elegance, and Indy Hartwell have already advanced. We will see Harley Hudson versus Thea later tonight, and we are currently seeing M by Elegance versus Rosemary. The winner of this match will have Alina Black or Winnie Chu waiting for them in the quarterfinals as this tournament continues to unfold. And of course, Rosemary can be a dark omen for anybody, but if Rosemary hasn't held singles gold here since she held the Knockouts World Championship all the way back in 2017, and the bunny is back on my screen. I hope he bites that freaking T-Woo Peter Herman's face off. Hey, Ali, that makes me happy. Of course, Ali also just signed recently to TNA Wrestling after being brought back to life. Who knew you could actually bring the dead back from the undead realm? I guess it doesn't work the same as the afterlife. And of course, the outside interference, though, of M by Elegance did cost Ali during her match against Heather by Elegance. Rosemary looking for a bit of revenge on behalf of her eliminated bunny. A little bit of a backstage interlude here. The more things change, the more they stay the same. That's definitely accurate. Looking like the Demon Assassin's ready to claw M by Elegance's heart out. As we get set for this first match tonight and a continued contest in the Knockouts Television Championship Tournament, as of course they show you the bracket again. Jody Fret, Mara Sade, Heather by Elegance, and Indy Hartwell advance. We know one much of our quarterfinals will be Mara Sade versus Heather by Elegance. And of course, we saw the most powerful gnome in the business lose, but pose quite a threat to Jody Fret just last week on Impact. And of course, later tonight, we will still see Thea Hale versus Harley Hudson in round one action. Now that's like JJ, who was easy picking for, clearly. And of course, shout out to the TNA contingency, GM Miller, Mackenzie Mitchell, Tom Hennigan, Matthew, and looked like the Miss, a little fake out there as M-Fudge was about to get missed in the face, much like that blind T-Woo Pee Wee Herman concierge at ringside. Very Finka stole for this contest. Irish whip, hard Irish whip in the corner to the rather statuesque Maggie Lee, one of the taller competitors here in Impact Wrestling. The fact of the matter, it doesn't really matter what happens to the freaking, whatever you want to call him, valet, liaison, annoying yes man. No one cares about him. All that matters here are the women. Oh, and Rosemary taking a bite out of Maggie's head. I'm not sure if that tasted elegantly or disgusting for a Demon Assassin. We're going to fall through in the last chancellery, and the bunny applauding as Rosemary's got Maggie Lee locked in the center of the ring. And Maggie Lee just shrieking right now. After Heather Elegance's victory, though, probably got in the head of both Ali and Rosemary. Maggie grabbing a hand of hair, creating separation. Of course, Rosemary's been always nobody too far away from bending the rules in her favor or taking a bite off her competition. Rosemary, one of the longest standing knockouts here. Honestly, the longest tenured knockout here. Still active in TNA, who, of course, has been part of TNA since 2017. And there's Heather with a distraction from behind. Picking the angle of Rosemary. Rosemary needs to keep her eye on the competition. And a kick from behind by Maggie Lee as the former Knockouts Tag Champions take advantage here of Rosemary. And always a numbers game when you face the Elegance brand. Drive by M by Elegance. And clearly that distraction playing dividends here right now as we go on the cover to advance and gets a 2 count, rather like a days ago there by Maggie Lee. Still to come tonight, of course, Harley Hudson takes on NXT's Thea Hill. And of course, that is the continuation of round one action. Also to come tonight, we will see the X Division Championship on the line as Sid Alexander, much to Brando's point, will defend against Vinny Vici, Fabian Aichner, who qualified for this match after winning a 6-pack scramble last week. Flop Dower will also cause TNA to lose dividends as he takes on the face of the franchise, Moose, Later tonight, also in singles action, Mustafa Ali is calling the order to order in order 4 with a state of the order address. What does this mean for the future of Tasha Steelz and the Great Khans, considering their fortunes as of late have been disappointing to Mustafa Ali? And we will also see Bronson go one-on-one with Ricky Sosa. And we will also hear from the TNA World Champion, the one-man Nick Nemeth, regarding his actions last week against Casey Navarro and what he plans to do next as the TNA World Champion. But right now, it's only about the TNA Knockouts TV title, and Maggie Lee taking advantage of Rosemary, German suplex, floats over, lateral press, far leg hook, gets a 2 count. And of course, Rosemary now is a 5-time TNA Knockouts Tag Team Champion, first time ever alongside her bunny. Of course, previous time she was champion was as the Death Dolls and also as part of Decay, alongside Jessica Havoc and La Vera Loca, Taya Valkyrie. Schoolgirl roll up on Maggie Lee, deep roll up by Rosemary, gets a 2 count, nearly advanced right there. Big drop kick by Maggie, though. Yeah, see, the Elegance brand right now is feeling good about themselves so far in this match. Rosemary, formerly in a previous shard known as Courtney Rush, coming to us from the Canadian area, Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, by the way. 18 years involved in this game, trained by, of course, Scott D'Amore and Johnny Devine. And right now, Rosemary hanging Maggie Lee up to dry in the tarantula. All the pressure right now on the back of the head and neck against that steel rope as the bunny smiles on and hops forward in applause. Again, Ali, of course, this is pre-recorded, I will say, get well soon. And good luck to your dog, too. Follow their podcast today, Chainsaw Girls, with her and Sienna. Big boot again. And the reach drives Rosemary down the outside. Referee checking on Rosemary now. Nasty landing for Rosemary off the top turnbuckle. Instead of rubbing non-existing lotion down your arms, Em, maybe you should get Rosemary back in the ring and go for the damn finish. Now sits in the cover, deep hook on the far leg, and took too long, only 2 counts. And of course, right now, I will give credit due when it came to Heather and Em holding down the non-existent tag team division as Knockouts Tag Team Champions. Speaking of holding it down, the TNA Hall of Fame will be holding it down in Immortality at Bound for Glory as we induct ODB, Amazing Red, and Conan this year in TNA's Hall of Fame. An incredible class picked this year. And of course, the next brand been the tag champions now for 19 days. The Elegance brand, of course, across 2 runs, have held that gold for a combined 360 plus days, nearly a year total. Rosemary still fighting back here with the elbows in the midsection of Maggie Lee. It's one of those things also where I feel like if Maggie Lee loses, or excuse me, and by Elegance going with the TNA, rising knee strike, and then makes it one-on-one, it does not give them a chance for the titles. Cover far leg up for a 2 count with the back press. Because technically they will be 1-1. Heather beat Ali. Rosemary beat Em. They're still stalemate. As far as I'm concerned, I don't think you need the Elegance brand anywhere near the Knockouts Tag Team Championships ever again, in my personal opinion. It's a fact. Good to see you. Thank you so much for following along with us here. As, of course, everyone here is looking to make history as the first ever TNA Knockouts Television Championship. And again, Em disrespecting. Whoa, what happened? My monitor went out. I just saw Em fall flat first on her face. And Rosemary with the sliding forearm. That's what you get for showboating and tripping on your own damn heels. Now Rosemary taking advantage after Em lost her footing. Went for the high kick, ducked her knees, rebound off the ropes, and Rosemary looking to follow through with momentum, following in with the lariats. Sense of urgency being shown here by Heather with a sling blade taken Em by Elegance to the corner. Now Rosemary following in here, and I would love to see Demon X Bunny hold all the gold in TNA. One of them being the Knockouts Television Champion, the other one being the Knockouts World Champion. It would be such a pretty sight, I think. We haven't seen that in TNA. And now Rosemary Googling Em, able to bring out lane. Oh, it's hilarious. Short range clothesline driving Em by Elegance down to the floor. Hard landing. And Concierge blindly calling for a timeout here. About to say, Rosemary playing right now with Tiwu Pee-wee, but she needs to focus here on the task at hand. Oh, about to say he fell on his butt. What a shame. Could have injured himself. Now Emma against thrown back inside the ring. Heather, though, trying to distract the official. And Harley, though, taking Heather down face first. Oh, what the hell? Champagne spin the face. Inside cradle. Are you fucking kidding me? That's fucking ridiculous. Empire again stole it. And travesty once again with this not so beautiful monstrosity disgracing TNA Wrestling as the Elegance brand once again steals a cheap win. The Elegance brand now has both sides advance in this tournament. I know I am definitely not covering TNA after this tournament's done. Fuck anybody that says anything different. Well, there's still more round one action to come, but again, as I always like to say, fuck the Elegance brand. As we still have, of course, Harley Hudson taking on Thea Hills, and by Elegance will take on Elena Black or Wendy Chu in the next round. I pray whoever is on the other side breaks M's face off. Still to come tonight, so much more action. As I said, as again, we still have, of course, an X Division Championship on the line here. We have, of course, Nick Nemeth and Harley Hudson for Thea Hill. And we also have Flop Dollar costing TNA more dollars. Go figure. As, of course, he's in singles action against Moose. And that first time ever singles match will be coming up next when TNA Impact returns after this commercial break. And apparently, Timu Slick and I think Kazarian will be joining commentary. In the meantime, as again, we have a commercial break. For those that don't know, TNA Plus, the application and the service, it horribly fucking sucks. So until we are back, I will see you on the other side of this break. And once again, fuck the Elegance brand. And we are back here with, oh God, Alicia Edwards. Holy faye. System once again talking about, do you want to know blah, 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 blah. The system doesn't play. Well, the system doesn't play fair. We know that. And Bear Bronson apparently infuriated what happened last week, saying that they got lucky. If only, but for all I know, Devon, I don't even know if he can lift, let alone anybody up to help Bubba Ray put them through a table. Friendly to say I might as well just kill you. It's a system backstage segments, folks. Everyone's talking right now. And of course, Cedric Alexander talking about the main events to come tonight, neutralizing the Fabian Aichner problem. Yada, yada, yada. They're going to show exactly why he rules the exhibition tonight. And everyone tonight is going to learn that you can't beat the system. The system's been beaten 4 times. You've been beaten worse than Microsoft. Like, seriously, how many times the system has got to have more versions at this point than the worst versions of Microsoft? And I've been through Microsoft 2000, 95, XP, Vista, 7, 8, 10, 11. It's like, come on now. Realize your system is flawed. It's bugged. You can proofread it and improve it every time, but your system sucks. And the only thing that's cheaper than this version of the system is probably the actual money that Flopdollar actually brings forward to TNA Wrestling, let alone the value of a first-class seat that might as well be cheaper than Coach. Of course, last week we did see on the King's Court by Frank Kazarian how Moose basically talked about, I am the face of the franchise. I am the one that people need to come after. And he was actually challenging Kazarian for a one-on-one match because they never faced each other. A freaking TNA OG taking on TNA's new breed, the Standard, the face of the franchise versus the Clown. Oh, I'm sorry. The king of TNA without a crown, Frank Kazarian. And of course, Flopdollar got instigating his ways, and now we have this match instead. What the hell is Kazarian doing stealing popcorn from a fan? What a freaking disgusting individual. You know, Kazarian, I thought you were taught better food etiquette. You're not supposed to talk with food in your mouth, but whatever. So there's trash in the ring and there's trash at ringside on commentary. That's about as usual as I expect with this segment and this match. The fact that Kazarian, I think, is scared to face Moose set up this match, claiming that he was the one that made this match possible, saying that I guess he and Flopdollar both consider Moose an ass clown. Have they looked in the mirror lately? I still think that Moose is on the verge of becoming TNA World Champion again. And to think, this guy at one point who sacrificed a football career to become full-time professional wrestler has been a mainstay in TNA, practically almost a Grand Slam champion outside the tag team championships. Now without a family and without a system, but has a genuine family after being in the system, and Eddie Edwards, quite emphatically, at Slammiversary, looks to push forward, of course, to the TNA World Championship. Moose looking to continue an illustrious career here and add Frank Kazarian to that resume. While apparently this king without a crown set a court gesture as Flopdollar immediately on the attack from behind. And the bell's not yet rung yet for this match. Yeah, go figure. The guy takes a freaking cheap shot before the bell even rings. The bell rings were underway right now and flopped in the corner. Moose back on the attack, running in with the uppercut. And Moose is full throttle right now. Absolutely accurate, Blando. And of course, Kazarian instigating this right now between these two men. It's just one of those things right now that Kazarian realizes that he can't hang with Moose. He's an OG. He could still probably compete in the X division. But Moose, I think, would have his number in a first-time match. And I don't think Kazarian wants to be embarrassed by somebody who has clearly become a mainstay this day and age in TNA. Respect the legacy. Respect what you brought forward. respect what you did with the upbringing of TNA, but Moose is now the franchise. Moose is now the face. Now AJ Francis sending Moose into the steel ring steps, Irish whip, and Flop Dollar shoulder first into the steel ring steps. The fact of the matter, these former men involved in the NFL, I know who I would want as my freaking lead on my team. And whoa, I wonder the hell is Timu Slick trying to do here? I'll say, distracting Moose, and Moose are going to follow up the pop-up and Flop Dollar. Uh-oh. Oh, man! Apron power bomb. Yeah, not the smartest move right there. Freaking trying to break somebody that's more of a toothpick than Slick. Or making a mockery of Slick, actually. And Kazarian again, talking more muffled than a child with a mouth disorder. Covered by Flop Dollar. Fall leg hook. It's a 2 count. Yeah, look at the strength, though. I'll give Flop Dollar credit. He's got a lot of strength for his side. He just lacks a whole lot of brains versus his brawn. Vicious powerbomb on the apron. Yeah, crowd chanting, "You can't wrestle." Ah, look at this. Timu Slick knockoff trying to take advantage from behind here. Whoa! Almost nearly got his head booted in by his own client. Big pump kick there by the 6'5" former linebacker. Runs into the boot, though, of Flop Dollar, who's literally floundering around the ring right now, barely able to stand on his own 2 feet. You know, sometimes I like to figure that Fabian Kazarian is actually saying something smart and intelligently, but most of the time in TNA, it's nothing but just wax proxy of his own narcissism. And right now, about to say, we saw what happened, of course, at Slammiversary as Flop Dollar went up and over the top rope and somehow has not been banned from diving yet, much like Joe Hendry's #1 hit. And of course, Fabian Kazarian was involved with Slammiversary, giving respect to Amazing Red, who's going to TNA Hall of Fame. First time he was involved in the X Division and the Ultimate X in over a decade. Of course, TNA's total nonstop schedule. The next time we're covering TNA outside TV, folks, will be, of course, 4 Lethal Lockdown. Stay tuned for further content on that, as well as Bound for Glory and the return of Destination X, all coming ahead here at TNA as we go into the fall season. Personally, I'm ready for fall. I'm done with summer. And now Flop looking to flop Moose with a choke slam, but Moose fighting back, getting leverage. Can he pick up the 6'5" face of the franchise? And Moose breaking the grip here. Oh, and a headbutt to the heart. Moose just literally staggering, flopping the corner like a bobblehead. AJ, though, following up with the forearm. Off the boot. Oh, and runs into the big boot of Moose. Now Moose, that's Calera. Spin out the top from, oh, man! Francis, come on, midair, a short range spear, cover, up to their leg, kick out by Moose at 2. Able to get the right shoulder over in time. Incredible agility by Moose, though, springing up like shutting bed to the top rope, looking for a high cross body as AJ Francis grabbed him out of midair with what literally was the shortest of ranges of a spear. Now AJ Francis is going to go up to the top. Yeah, bad move, by the way. You knock off Twin Tower. Again, Moose right now, again, still so much left to give here in this match. Now Moose adjusting AJ Francis' position up at the top rope. I sense disaster. I don't know if the ring can handle this. That's over a 400-pound superplex. Oh, drop kick by Moose. And now Moose up to the top rope. What the hell is this? That's a lot of weight coming down. Superplex. The ring bounced on impact. Moose with the cover and kick out by Francis at 2. I'll give Francis a lot of credit there, enduring that massive superplex by Moose off the top rope, able to find the shoulder. If you're looking at the replay, folks, like me on your local provider of TNA Plus, almost literally driven through the TNA logo in the middle of the ring. Now Moose, though, back up to his feet, springing it up like Shawn Michaels. Big up and over. Flop Dollar to the top rope of the floor. Plunge over the top, wiping him out. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm about to say, Moose does not give a damn about Kazarian's popcorn, and Moose going back inside the ring, looking to square up Francis. Oh, Kazarian picking the ankle of Moose, though, and driving him face first into the ring post, blatantly in front of the official. And the referee called for the bell here as Flopdar will be disqualified. And now Kazarian trying to set up Moose for Flopdar for further punishment inside the ring. Clearly, Kazarian wanted nothing to do with Moose, and as soon as Kazarian felt like he was embarrassed, he hired another court jester to get involved in the fray. Oh, this is just downright embarrassing right now. This is an embarrassing display for Kazarian, Flopdar more than usual, and this Timu Slick impersonator. Oh, God, it's play dirt choke slam. Well, AJ Francis ain't worth a damn dime tonight, considering he got disqualified while he got pay dirt on Moose tonight. Moose goes in the pay window, but looks anything like a winner, face to face Kazarian's shenanigans, and proving once again why he is TNA's court jester. As we go backstage to Elena Black. And of course, talking about her match coming up against Wendy Chu. Saying that she respects her. And she's saying she's going all the way to the finals. I mean, Elena Black was a first ballot candidate for this tournament, in my opinion. We're going to do it no matter what it takes. Everyone's going to be saying Elena Black's the greatest. Giving on TNA history. Talk about being full of yourself. And we got Brookside, who is the greatest knockout right now, who still holds the Knockouts World Championship, a feat that Elena Black hasn't accomplished yet. This could be an interesting matchup, actually. Do yourself a favor. But I'm even fine with you do next week. But stay in your lane. And watch your damn mouth. Wow. And Lena Black saying that Xia Brookside's scared of her. Delusional. You mean failed W superstar? Coming up next, Mustafa Ali, State of the Order address when TNA Impact returns. Elena Black really needs to recheck her freaking mentality. And we will recheck with you all after this commercial break. Fuck television. And welcome back in, everybody, to TNA on AMC, as we are joined here by the Order 4 for the State of the Order address by Mustafa Ali, who is still our reigning and defending TNA International Champion, and has called this order to order after the losses by Tasha Steelz, eliminating her from this tournament, as well as the Great Hands losing out again on season the TNA Tag Team Championships. Well, the last couple of weeks, we've seen Mustafa Ali speak to somebody over a phone, and maybe we'll finally see who that person was to encourage or discipline or train the Order 4. For Ali, we trust. Stay of the Order 4 address as he welcomes us in. Stand behind me should be the most dominant faction in TNA wrestling history. I mean, there's been a lot of dominant factions, to be fair. Everyone should be covering championship goal, and apparently one of us got the message. To be fair, it did take the Order 4 helping you beat Trey Miguel for that title. John Scott, Jason Hotch, Tasha Steelz, and of course, Special Agent Zero standing from behind. I gave you 3 everything, and the 3 of you gave me problems. Ooh. I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. Are we going to get an excommunication? Is someone getting vetoed? Disappointed your failures. Disappointed that the fact you're comfortable with failing. Damn. Mustafa Ali is a humble man. Even he needs help. Order 4 needs assistance. Order 4 needs someone to get you 3's heads out of your asses. Damn. What is this, boot camp? We need someone to hold the 3 of you accountable. Who does he mean? The newest member of the Order 4? What? Secretary of Strategic Affairs, Miss Mila Moore. What? Tessa Blanchard's young girl from the Diamond Collective, Mila Moore, is now part of the Order 4? Are you kidding me? That's a power shift, I guess, of a different sort, but if she's anything reliable like Stacy Keibler, she might have her uses besides wrestling, because she's not that great at that. But apparently Mustafa Ali has enacted a new Secretary of Strategic Affairs? Mila Moore in the Order 4? What the hell? What the hell am I watching tonight? I can imagine what Tasha Steelz thinks. Tasha Steelz probably thought that she was the only one that was the woman of power. Yeah, clearly welcome here from Tasha Steelz, and it looks like the Great Hands are reluctant. I don't blame them, but I will say Mila Moore looks like a press secretary. She pulls the look off well. Thank you for the opportunity of a lifetime. What the hell? Truly an honor to work for a man as I admire like you. What the hell? You knew she was a solution. What? We got a lot of work to do. Bizarre world. And declare. And Ali, I trust you. Freaking suck up. And Ali clapping and having the Order 4 clapped as well. Tasha Steelz with a very sarcastic clapping look. That all this for me. Wow, she's letting Mila Moore hold the TNA International Championship, and Tasha Steelz can't believe it. Now up next, determine the next number one contender for his TNA International Championship. And we should do the international vote? Where I give the power to the people. What? Give the power to the people in the back, not you idiots. Of course. Much like a dictator. The power to TNA roster. Next week, the entire roster is invited to vote to anyone who they believe is rightful to be the next number one contender to Ali's TNA National Championship. Ali is exercising a TNA roster vote for his next challenger. And all I gotta say is that's made the best man win. Mila Moore, welcome to Order 4. And thank you. And remember that in Ali we trust. And Tasha Steelz is probably questioning her trust right now as she did not put up the Order 4. But ladies and gentlemen, to bring you up to speed, we have a new member of the Order 4, a press secretary of strategic operations, Mila Moore. Yeah, you remember that name? No one else does either. But apparently, Tasha Steelz does not agree with this order at all. And Mustafa Ali has also now exercised a roster vote to determine his new number one contender for his TNA International Championship. So I guess we'll see who's next soon enough to challenge Mustafa Ali, and what strategies will Mila Moore and Mustafa Ali have in mind for the Order 4. Someone tell me, though, that Tasha Steelz is not giving us a vote of confidence, and it could lead to her absence sooner rather than later. What the hell? That was beyond weird. Anyway, as we move on now, let's go ahead and look at the Bioflex injury report. Following the heinous actions of the clown of TNA and its court jester, Moose is currently being evaluated by trainers backstage. Not the first time we've seen Moose suffer injuries or a concussion. Last week in the no disqualification match that was over 20 minutes long, Leiling Lee suffered a brutal assault against Zaya Brookside with that dark side DDT face first in the steel chair. And currently, Leiling Lee is being evaluated, and she is out of action indefinitely. There is no timetable on Leiling Lee's return. Cedric and Alexander have both completed medical evaluations to not only meet the criteria for competing tonight, but it will still be on for the X Division Championship later on in our main event. Mustafa Ali introduces Mila Moore in the Order 4 as Press Secretary of Strategic Operations. Okay, I guess that's a thing. And I think you're right, Safed. I think you're on to something there. Well, still to come tonight, as we try and remember what TNA is supposed to be about before it becomes a similarity of the wrestling business, Harley Hudson will go one-on-one with Thea in round 1 action of the TNA Knockout Television Tournament. But coming up next, Bang Bang, Sosa. Was it just luck last week? Barrett Bronson looks to prove Leon Sam Ricky Sosa got lucky. Barrett Bronson and Ricky Sosa go one-on-one after this commercial break. I will see on this other side as I leave with this. In Ali, do you still trust? And for Tasha Steelz, is it a bust? Think about it. I'll see you on the other side of this commercial break when TNA returns. on earth are the Righteous doing backstage with a slab? Oh, sorry. Welcome back to TNA. The Righteous are invited to the Hardy compound for the Righteous deletion? Uh-oh. I don't even know what to interpret, but Charles, I think you're finally getting your wish. The freaking device sent to the Righteous with a message by the Broken Hardys. The Hardys have invited the Righteous to the Hardy compound for the Righteous deletion? Well, I will talk more about that later. Right now, we're getting ready for singles action here with Bear Bronson and Ricky Sosa for the first time ever. Of course, Brian Myers, his tag partner in the system and a multi-time accomplished tag team specialist. Bear Bronson and Brian Myers, of course, were the former TNA tag team champions before they lost them at Slammiversary. The Hardys went back-to-back Slammiversaries in regaining the TNA tag team championships. And last week in that unique triple threat tag team match, the first time ever pairing of Ricky Sosa and Leon Slayer did get the better of the Righteous and the system that night. Bear Bronson now out to prove a point that they got lucky, considering that, again, it was not traditional tag team matchup. But, of course, Ricky Sosa has already made quite an impact so far since arriving here on the scene, including defeating Grand Slam champion, 6 times buried alive and brought back to life, Eric Young, back at Slammiversary. And, of course, Leon Slater is looking to become the face of TNA, looking to go through every former scumbag and TNA champion. And with Ricky Sosa by his side, he might have better chances. I will say Ricky Sosa's theme is a bop. It might be one of the only themes that actually has a recognition to be kind of a bop. Then again, it's not a wrestling theme. It's a song that is for a wrestler. And maybe that's the difference. And it's not by Downstate either. Does seem like more people are getting into it, too, in the audience. So he's making that connection. And Ricky Sosa, for those that don't know, comes to us from Brussels, across the pond, and, of course, crossed the line. And earlier this year, signed on the dotted line, introduced to us by the Art of Finesse Chris Bay, continues forward in his recoveries. As, of course, Ricky Sosa, we also seen him almost recruited by the system, told them hell no, and the Righteous looked to expose him to his further potential like they did the Hardys. Dig what I'm saying? But it seems like Ricky Sosa has found a different ally in this unique TNA locker room of carnies, thieves, and sharks. No Leon Slayer with him tonight, though. Everyone's chanting. It's a simple chant. Bang, bang, Sosa, Sosa. As we have on commentary, the most professional wrestler, Brian Myers, of course, the former multiple-time TNA Tag Team Champion. The bell rings are underway here as Ricky Sosa immediately on the attack against the bigger, heavier Bear Bronson, beating him to the punch right now, where speed's on Ricky Sosa's side. And Ricky Sosa, of course, recently was involved in a match just over in Deutschland against Peter Finale. Losing effort, though. Ricky Sosa, by the way, folks, is only 21 years old and been involved in this business for only 4 years. But, of course, his work across WXW and France and even House of Glory has made him a connected name and a supported name here in TNA and in the States. Big uppercut by Ricky Sosa in the corner. I mean, we've seen how unique teams have come together to form incredible chemistry and go on to greater glory. I would not rule out Leon Slater and Ricky Sosa being in the conversation at some point for the TNA Tag Team Championships, especially if you want to be a Grand Slam champion. If Leon Slater is dedicated, I pray that he is, to TNA wrestling, to become a face of TNA, he should go after everything. I mean, heck, he was days away from being Austin Aries becoming the longest reigning TNA X Division champion in a single run before Sid Alexander stole it thanks to the help of the system. And Ricky Sosa, of course, was able to get the win on Bear Bronson. Looking for Sam Bear Bronson to the outside. Smart strategy here. Of course, Bear Bronson introduced into the system by JDC on Eddie Edwards' actual underhanded exploits. Whoa! Good agility. Bronson unable to keep a Sosa and watch out! Bossman slam on the floor. Oh, that's a turning point. Can Sosa get back in this bout as his back got bent as this match continues on TNA? Jeez. Biz be proud of that. That was like a black hole slam right there. They're using Ricky Sosa's own momentum against him. And right now, Ricky Sosa, again, favoring the small of his spine. Bear Bronson working Ricky Sosa's lower back against the apron. Again, Bear Bronson, first time, of course. He's been here in TNA ever. Literally now part of the system. In the span of just a couple of months, already found himself as a TNA Tag Team Champion as Bear Bronson's mocking Ricky Sosa on the outside. Not sure how wise that is. About to say, I think I would say Ricky Sosa's theme is cooler than the system's theme. And that's no offense to Downstate. It's just fact. You can barely understand what it even says. I think it yells, can't beat the system. But we've seen multiple times over the system can be beaten. The system is flawed. The system fails. Bear Bronson. Oh, jeez. Taking a massive seat on Ricky Sosa's chest. Cover. 2. Count only. Hook on the far leg. Crowd trying to reel Ricky Sosa back in this with a bang, bang, Sosa chance. And of course, like I talked about the old guard again, Ricky Sosa was able to beat one of the oldest guards that was left before they got, I guess, released. Eric Young. And Brian Myers, of course, one of the oldest guards still here in TNA. As I said, former multiple-time TNA Tag Team Champion, former Digital Media Champion. Nice snap suplex there by Bear Bronson. Of course, we saw Mrs. Bronson of sorts, Gabby Forza, the most powerful gnome in the industry, take on Jody Fret last week in the Knockouts television tournament opening rounds, and Jody Fret was able to win. Bear Bronson again might be showboating too much, but a big elbow drop in the corner connects. Bang, bang for the 3 count. Kick out at 2 by Ricky Sosa. Oof, near 300 pounds. Elbow drop straight to the heart of Ricky Sosa. A literal hot stopper shot right there. And somehow Sosa able to rehabilitate himself pretty much back into this. Without a defibrillator. Reanimate, excuse me. Massive waist slap being applied here by Bear Bronson, continuing to control the body of Ricky Sosa. Sosa fine back, though, with the elbows. Back elbows to the side of the head. Finally breaks the grip. Off the ropes again. And, take it down with one stiff shot running into that clothesline. It's a big right forearm across the throat. The massive senton drop. And pretty much right now, Bear Bronson just toying with his food. Cover here as he threatened to kill Ricky Sosa, it felt like, in that backstage hype promo alongside the systems. Eddie Edwards, Alicia Edwards, Brian Myers, and Sid Alexander, who is still to come tonight in our main event, defending the X Division Championship against Vini Vidi Vici, Fabian Aichner. And right now, Bear Bronson rearranging the jawline of Ricky Sosa. And Bear Bronson right now, the definition of working less and providing more of an impact. Now looking to hook up Sosa possibly for another snap German or a brain buster. Sosa, though, fighting back. And of course, like I said, Leon Slater nowhere to be found. I know Leon Slater is going to probably be watching closely the X Division Championship match tonight because I know he still wants to go after Cedric Alexander, and Cedric knows how much of a threat he is. Oh! That was a very nice count for Ricky Sosa, hoisting up Bear Bronson into what was basically a swinging net breaker. Able to hoist up a man the size of Bear Bronson. Goes back to the strength of the 6'4", 209-pound international rising sensation. As this match continues to forge forward here on TNA Impact, can Ricky Sosa bang his way to a 3 count? We'll find out when TNA Wrestling returns. Fuck this service. We are back here at TNA, as that was one of the lamest, stupidest, most unnecessary commercial breaks ever in my life, proving my point again why this service really sucks. And again, we are joined on commentary here by Brian Myers, most professional wrestler, don't know about most professional commentator. Bear Bronson, Ricky Sosa just squaring off, middle of the rings, and Bear Bronson looking to get the better, blocks the discus, big boot to Bear Bronson, wheels it off. Oh, jumping knee, and a big deadlift German by Ricky Sosa to Bear Bronson. Where the hell you got that from? Digging down deep here right now. And right now, bang, bang, follow up with the running, jumping uppercut. Continuing forward here, keeping on the attack. Running in again. Ricky Sosa looking for a comeback. Does it the clothesline. Oh, God! Ran in with the Spanish fly. Got him! Cut off the far lane. Bear Bronson kick out at two by Bear Bronson. Wow. Great action here right now. Ricky Sosa picking up the pace here. Speaking of picking things up again, Thea, Harley, Hudson will pick up things. The Knockouts television tournament still to come tonight. We will also hear from the one-in man, the TNA World Champion Nick Nemeth, prior regarding his heinous actions against Casey Navarro, trying to break literally a rising prospect spirit. And still to come down in our main event, so Alexander defends the Institute Championship against Fabian Aichner. Vici. Now Ricky Sosa going up to the top rope, looking to ascend the ranks here at TNA, but Bear Bronson runs in with the elbow. Oh, big knife edge chop. I would almost dare say if Ricky Sosa beats Bear Bronson again, there will be no asterisks. There will be no excuses. It will prove his potential here alone in TNA. And I would put Ricky Sosa and Leon Slater in the tag title run sooner than the system, who are obviously looking for their, I imagine, contractually obligated rematch. Sosa collecting himself, jumping up and over on the apron, up the second. Oh, sunset flip powerbomb! Running boots! There's the power, now the cover off the far leg. She got it too. Wow! Closer and closer, Ricky Sosa gets to beating Bear Bronson one-on-one tonight. Looking for his second singles win here in TNA. Still favoring that bat, though. Ricky Sosa might be getting ready to fly high over the top with the cross-body splash. Full body splash, excuse me. Going for broke and clearing the ropes. Again, Ricky Sosa, though, needs to be aware of the threat of Brian Myers looming at ringside. We have seen ringside threats looming all over the place tonight. So far, Sosa has been able to focus on Bear Bronson and take care of business. And Sosa up on the apron now. Here's Brian Myers jaw-jacking here. Trying to get a word, and right now springing in, and oh, God, caught up the top. Planted with a powerbomb, choke bomb, cover, and kick out at two with the sky high. Bronson can't believe it. Good grief. Elbows right now just driving down the lower spine and sitting in on it, too. Almost crushing the vertebrae of Ricky Sosa. That's going to make that Blue Thunder bang even harder to execute now for Ricky Sosa. His twist in the Blue Thunder ball actually wins matches. Now Bear Bronson bringing the straps down, looking to get serious here tonight and looking to put Ricky Sosa away. Bang, bang. And Brian Myers' distraction definitely has done the job now. It's put this match firmly in the system Bear Bronson's favor. Up on the shoulder. Oh, no. The same way that he injured Matt Hardy. Sosa fighting back, though. Waist lock. O'Connor roll. The cover. The roll up. Two. Pushed off. Big jumping uppercut takes Brian Myers down. Brian Myers looking to play interception. And Bear Bronson staring to the rope. Sosa on the move. Trying to hook Bear. Rolling elbow connects. Turn him around, hoist it up. Can't get him, though, with the bad back. Went for the Blue Thunder bang. And now Bear Bronson hoists up Ricky Sosa. Argentine backbreaker position. Oh, no. Oh! The back treatment. And hoist it up, and this is going to do it. Bronson connects with the stuff pile driver. The system works again. And drops Sosa. Bear Bronson once again proven that the system works when the numbers are in their favor. That momentary distraction, the heavy work on Ricky Sosa's back, preventing the hoist up of the Blue Thunder Bang, allowed Bear Bronson to get a win tonight and prove a point against Ricky Sosa last night, where it very well could have been a fruit. Bear Bronson proving tonight that you should trust the system so far. A big win, though, but hell of an effort, though, by Ricky Sosa. Well, we'll see if the system can continue working on all cylinders tonight. As again, you see Fabian Aichner, if you're watching along with me, preparing backstage for the biggest opportunity of his life, looking to become the face of TNA's X Division, defined by no limits, one-on-one against Cedric Alexander, as the prime of TNA and of the system looks to show exactly why he is the face of the X Division, like a thief in the night back at Slammiversary, just holding on to his X Division title. And of course, speaking of titles, Nick Nemeth literally on an island of his own alongside his little brother. That's the worst person to be stuck on an island with. TNA World Champion Nick Nemeth will be coming forward on our screens, but coming up next, the women take center stage for TNA and NXT as Harley, Hudson, and Thea both look to punch their ticket to history. TNA Knockouts television tournament action after this commercial break when TNA returns. Fuck this service. It looks like, and welcome back in here to TNA Wrestling as Moose has decided to walk with Elijah against two ass clowns that have been thorns in Elijah's past. Might get a tag match next week, players. In the meantime, let's go down to Mackenzie Mitchell in the ring. Get ready for our next match. Welcome back, everybody, to TNA Impact. Here we go. The challenge made by Moose moments ago with Elijah. I think Flop Dollar and the Clown of TNA might have a tag team match in their hands next week, players. But coming up right now, we are finding Harley Hudson. Yes, I know, folks. You probably forgot she was part of the roster. In singles action here, of course, was brought alongside Myla Grace. Harley Hudson, for those that don't know, comes to us from jolly old England, in case you didn't catch her accent. From the Liverpool area. Freelancer for about 7 years, known as the Hot and Not Bothered. Saying they're going to start calling me the champ. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of unknown to you, but I've been in the ring with the likes of course, the Prince of Perfection, Rachel Leigh, as well as Sasha McKenzie. Disciplined and trained over, shared the ring here in TNA against the likes of Tasha Steeles, and, of course, Zara Brookside. As we welcome in once again, for whatever fucking reason, NXT has crossed the line as we bring Thea Hill to the stage. And Thea Hill, of course, to her young career credit, is a former NXT Women's North American Champion. For the first time ever, Thea Hill has crossed the line. Youngest ever NXT Women's signing. Youngest ever NXT Women's North American Champion for a cup of coffee. And now looks to become the youngest ever TNA Knockouts Champion in the form of the first ever TNA Knockouts Television Champion. Again, you see the updated bracket. Jody Frett, Mara Seday, headed by Elegance, Indy Hartwell, and Emma Elegance already advanced. The winner of this match will face Indy Hartwell in the quarterfinals. Bell rings, we are officially underway for this first time ever one-on-one affair. A nice code of honor here too. Nice mutual handshake. Stiff con elbow tie up here in the early going here. Again, Thea Hill. This is the first time ever she has graced a TNA ring. Harley Hudson, Myla Grace, they were packaged together as a tag team, and they squandered it. Thea Hill, for those that don't know, has only been involved in this business for 4 years, known as the Spartan Warrior. And right now, the schoolgirl roll up. Whoa! Quick exchanges so far here with these two. Again, the winner of this matchup will be taking on Indy Hartwell in the quarterfinals. Personally, I don't think NXT has done anything of good to TNA, and I don't think that NXT needs another title under their control, considering they got a 5-minute speedometer sticker, a mid-card championship already, and a world championship in the best wrestler going in WWE right now, Kendall Gray. The drop down right now. I feel like a bit of a spitfire, a bit spontaneous here. I can see her and Jody Frett. I can see Thea Hill having fun here in TNA. Cazadora, deep arm drag takeover. Smart move here by Thea Hill, capturing the arm of Harley Hudson in her arm bar. Of course, she loves using that Kimura that led her to wins previously. That scissors takeover by Harley Hudson. Quick escape, though, by Thea Hill. And Harley Hudson, of course, we haven't seen much of her lately here in TNA. Honestly, there has not been much going on for either of these women. Oh, man. Blade drop across the arm. Lateral press cover. High angle. Gets a 2 count. And I don't think no one in TNA wants to see NXT with their gold. Again, I'm just saying. Kick to the shoulder there. And Thea Hill up to the top rope. Ooh, able to escape out of the corner. Cazadora, Harley Hudson holding on to Thea. Oh, drop face first. Cover, I'd love to see it too. Almost eliminated Thea Hill. Back to NXT. Harley Hudson, of course, for those that don't know, in a bygone life, had a great match coming in here against the likes of Tessa Blanchard, Diamante. Now, Harley Hudson, of course, looks like she's unproven here and is looking to prove a point. Thea Hill, of course, last time you saw her was in a quick little match on AAA for the World Mixed Tag Championships alongside Shiloh Hill back at WrestleMania 42. And I believe prior to this, was involved in the speed tournament and lost Stacey Dane. Cover by Harley Hudson for our leg. It's a 2 count here. And Thea Hill trying to reverse her recent fortunes here with the TNA Knockouts Television Championship on the line. Opportunity to be the first. And again, this title will only be defended on TNA Impact Weekly Television. I don't think nobody wants to see that because, seriously, will he hurt his little brother? I don't know. Oof. Face there by Thea Hill. Nice kick there. Caught Harley Hudson off guard. Whoa, a little messy there. Was looking for the backslide takeover. Harley Hudson able to counter. Follows through with a short-range lariat. Comes back to that unfamiliarity with these two young individuals in this business. Again, Thea Hill still very much the genesis of her wrestling career. Just teed off here. And Thea Hill, of course, one of the smallest competitors in the entire professional wrestling business, formerly known, of course, as Nikita Knight. Stands at 5'2", in case y'all are wondering. Once again, look for the backslide, looking for that leverage there, trying to bend Harley Hudson down. Shoulders down! Harley Hudson able to escape. Oh, man, and just dropped her with that boot. Still coming out again. We'll hear from the TNA World Champion Nick Nemeth in our main event for the Heavyweight Championship. Went for that late drop again on the arm, and Thea Hill able to escape. Certain disaster. And once again, Thea Hill. Oh, rising knee. Nasty underneath the jawline there. Harley Hudson, big right hand, answering in kind. Thea Hill, though, blocking the receipt, answering in kind with one of her own rights. Both these women exchanging here, looking for the jogging position. Oh, jeez. Again, both of these teeing off. There's a kitchen sink knee that bent Thea Hill over. Fall through, definitely the clothesline. Thea able to drop down. Double palm strike to the chest, and Thea Hill looking, to make the most of her first time here in the TNA ring. Big headbutt to the heart. Thea Hill falls in, back elbow strike, and again, looking to hook Harley Hudson. Nice exploder out of the corner. Determined to advance to the corner. Finals gets a 2 count. And of course, Thea Hill, no stranger to Indy Hartwell, very familiar, of course, with the impressive Indy Hartwell during their time, of course, in NXT, despite the fact there were different classes of their times they were representing that brand by that 3 letters. Hudson able to fight out from underneath, looking to hoist up Thea Hill, but present her arm, and Thea Hill might have the Kimura locked in. Able to adjust again, and Harley Hudson got Thea Hill hooked, able to slip out the back door, looking for the back. Oh, and Harley sits in the cover. Thea Hill, the reversal. Deep roll up. Oh, able to escape. 2 count. Oh, big right. Clock Thea. That might be enough right there. Thea might be out. Look over the shoulder. Oh, man. Oh, the back of the neck over the leg. That might be it. The cover. Deep hook. And 2 count again by Thea Hill, showing great resilience. Credit where credit's due for Thea Hill. I will never deny Thea Hill's resilience, considering the amount of punishment she went through being a student at Chase U. That's punishing enough. Not to mention all of that turmoil against the Dame before she found her dark calling in the calling. Oh! Got a DDT, face first with Harley Hudson, Thea on the cover, and gets the shoulder up at 2. That was a great counter takeover there by Thea, and again, Thea staying on the attack, hooking up Harley Hudson. Planted with the world's smallest power slam. Went for the rolling somersault. Caught nothing but canvas. Quick pace here right now between these two. Kicking up here. Rising knee again by Harley Hudson. So far, these two have been counter for counter. Move for move. Went for the guillotine. Leg drop. And it had nothing but canvas off the second rope. Now Thea Hill fired up here. Spraying off the bottom. With the backup. That's how she won. A turn. Got her. Thea Hill advances. With the bottom rope, springboard, backdrop into the cover, Thea Hill, in her debut in a TNA ring, finds herself in the quarterfinals and will take on Indy Hartwell, and perhaps will make even more history as the youngest ever TNA Knockout Television Champion, and once again, history for NXT, and possibly another freaking case of owning. Again, that springboard, bottom rope, backdrop, all of her back weight on the chest of Harley Hudson, crushing her and whatever she had left. Thea Hill advances in this tournament. And another disappointment, unfortunately, for Harley Hudson. Thea Hill, though, definitely came to fight tonight. I'll give the young, little, spontaneous girl credit. As we look at the updated bracket here, you will now see on your screens, we now have another quarterfinal matchup made. On one side, Mara Sedate takes on headed by Elegance. On the other side, Indy Hartwell will take on Thea Hale. And Jodie Fred, of course, waits to see what she takes on between Jada Stone and Alicia Edwards. As Emma Elegance waits to see if she takes on Wendy Chu or Elena Black. Well, last week we saw the TNA World Championship deliver a very painful message against a young, bright upstart, Casey Navarro, that looked up to this man as his hero. This is another life lesson, folks. Be careful meeting your heroes. You might regret it. The Waterman Nick Nemeth comes to the TNA ring. The TNA World Champion takes the mic next when TNA Impact returns to this commercial break. Fuck this service. And we are back here live on TNA Impact as I show you the updated bracket of the TNA Knockouts Television Tournament. We now know that coming up still in round one action, Jada Stone takes on Alicia Edwards, and Elena Black will take on Wendy Chu. Those matches will be taking place next week on Impact as we return back inside the Impact Zone with the TNA World Champion, the wanted man, Nick Nemeth, who basically has said that nobody right now is on his level after even eliminating a rising prospect from literally around his side, Casey Navarro, after he and his little brother betrayed the young man and assaulted him last week in a very painful lesson about saying that you are not even worthy of standing alongside my blood. You sure was worthy enough to beat that young man. Then again, when you beat somebody with a spray-on tan, not hard to do. Well, let's hear what Nick Nemeth has to say here. Probably a lot of bolstering, a lot of bravado, and I expect somebody to come out and interrupt him, yada, yada, yada. I'll let you all know if he actually says something important. All right, how good does this look? That's about as dull as line as you can get. You mean Gunther, the great professional wrestler walking the earth today? I don't know about that. You're the TNA World Champion. Call him the best defense going today. Let's see. MJF, Kenny Omega, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Gunther, Cody. You'll be there eventually. Everyone out here is chasing me because I'm out here every damn night doing what I do better than anybody else. Because I'm the one man and the TNA World Champion. Doing good, Kevin. I hope everyone else is doing good as well. And thank you for tuning in to our continued watch alongs supporting strictly the TNA Knockouts TNA Knockouts Television Championship Tournament. I hope you all enjoying. Please like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend. Follow us today at SR Studios 24. I hope you and your family are doing well. Hope everyone's doing well and just finding a way to enjoy wrestling. And please like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend. Subscribe to Batty for Wrestling. Subscribe to Rage of Wrestling. Subscribe to Cascading Studios. And follow us on the X today at SR Studios 2024 for continued watch-alongs, shenanigans, interviews. Shout out to the fireball herself, and that's on period. Kiara Hooligan, thank you so much for giving us your time. I wish you nothing but the continued best. You and Diamante, by the way. And again, subscribe to Batty for Wrestling. And, of course, follow my fellow TNA faithful friend, Dolla, at Pop Culture Paragon, her new venture on the social media, as well as when it's wrestling time at Rangers of Wrestling. We want to be your one-stop spot for honest, open-minded, reliable, non-stop, watch-along wrestling outlooks and coverage for all things wrestling across the biggest PLEs, previews, and specials across all things the Fed, NXT, TNA, AEW, and independent wrestling and global promotions, including New Japan Pro Wrestling as well. Thank you. And it looks like Casey Navarro is going to confront Nick Nemeth, and Nick Nemeth doesn't want to hear anything about it and says that he just wants him out of the ring. Now get out. Nick Nemeth commanding Casey Navarro to get out of his ring, and someone tells me Casey Navarro he's not going to do that. Nick Nemeth saying you had a chance to ride my coat and live in the shadow. You couldn't do that. And demanding that he gets out of his ring. Yeah, about to say the disrespect here. Good grief. Just talking down to Casey Navarro. And see if Casey will actually follow suit. It looks like Casey Navarro is actually going to get out of this ring. Come on, man. Stand up for yourself. Like, seriously. And Nick Nemeth right now. Doesn't give a damn who comes out here, who wants a shot. Now calling Casey Navarro a grown-up. Oh. Casey Navarro finally speaks. What? About saying sometimes the fans you love don't always love you back. You can give, and sometimes you get nothing back. Well, yeah. Case Navarro actually speaking out for himself. Talking about how he puts himself through this every single night. Lost his another championship match. Lost his X-Division title shot. Lost his tag title chance with him. Thought that being like Nick Nemeth would be a better career out for him. It would be better. And proved him fully wrong. I mean, Case Navarro can cut a promo. That's what we're learning here tonight. And Case Navarro saying, you hold the one thing that would prove all those people wrong, and that's if I beat you. It sounds like Case Navarro is challenging Nick Nemeth for the TNA World Championship. Casey go whoop Nick Nemeth's ass and stick up for himself. I mean, you know, you only can push individuals so much. As he just said, he looks forward to kicking his ass, taking that title. Next week. I want you to put that TNA World Championship on the line against me. Whoa! So Case Navarro is calling a shot. Because Case Navarro is here to show the world that I can be the TNA World Champion. All right, but are you perfection? That's the question. Kudos to Case Navarro sticking up for himself. And Nick Nemeth seems unimpressed. He said that's a real impressive speech. Well done. But if you promise me that you take your losers away from me for good, I'll go talk to Daria. And I'll make the match for the TNA World Champion title next week. But he's got to do something for him. Uh-oh. Nick Nemeth really wants to make sure that Case Navarro is going to make sure that Case Navarro is removed from his life. Well, high stakes for a young man that literally looks to beat his hero for the richest prize in TNA wrestling. Nick Nemeth saying, in case Navarro wants the match next week, you got to promise me you lose my number, you stay away from my shadow, you never bother me again, you are out of my existence. Case Navarro puts his entire dreams on the line against his idol, turn into what could be his ultimate rival next week for the TNA World title. As, of course, title galore contention is on full throttle here in TNA Wrestling. Weekly and weekly and weekly. Every title seems to be on the line. And speaking of titles, coming up next, we see both champion and challenger approaching the ring. It is Vinny Vici, Fabian Aichner, Cedric Alexander, the X-Division Championship, the cornerstone of TNA Wrestling for the division with no limits, is on the line next. And that's our main event when TNA returns to this commercial break. Fuck this service. And we are officially back here on TNA Impact as we get ready for our main event for the X Division Championship. Vici. As it's time for the X Division title to be on the line. And thank you all again for everybody that's tuned in this entire evening. Please like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend as the Gladiator, as he calls himself, Vici, Fabian Aichner, who just crossed the line shortly after Cedric Alexander won the X Division Championship and earned this opportunity last week, pinning PDE with that crazy spinning sit-out power bomb in that six-way scramble. While Cedric Alexander has maintained a grip on this title, beating Leon Slater in a 2 after falls match thanks to the help of the system. We saw instrumental of the system once earlier tonight. We'll see if the system works once again and if it can be beaten. Retirement. But I don't blame you with that assessment. And again, for anybody that's tuned in, just to bring you up to speed, I'm going to remind you of everything that happened tonight. Both Harley, Hudson, and Rosemary are eliminated from the Knockouts television tournament. The advanced winners were Thea from NXT and M by Elegance with a cheap champagne spit take. Ricky Sosa fought valiantly, but Bronson crushed and rearranged his spine and was able to get the win thanks to the assistance of Brian Myers. Flop Dolla and the Clown of TNA double team Moose and got disqualification as Moose won, and Moose has now decided to walk this way with Elijah to sing a different tune, hopefully next week, against the Clown of TNA and his court jester. We also, of course, heard earlier that Casey Navarro wants to take everything that Nick Nemeth values dear, the TNA World Championship, the one thing that will prove that he's better than everybody else. And, of course, right now we get ready for this main event. This is 6 years since Fabian Aichner and Cedric Alexander went one-on-one in a bygone live. You remember 205 Live? I certainly do. This is also Cedric Alexander's first singles defense after outlasting Ultimate X. And right now we get ready for our main event here. The cornerstone of TNA, of course, Amazing Red, who also was a pioneer of the Instant Championship, much like Samoa Joe, the phenomenal AJ Styles that kicked things off, Josh Alexander, Speedball Mike Bailey, Moose even at one point held us, and of course the previous longest reigning champion, Leon Slater. The bell rings and we are underway. We also saw Elena Black and Zaya Brookside have a bit of a heel versus heel face-off dynamic backstage as Zaya warned Elena, stay in your lane. Elena, delusional, saying that you fear me because I will always be more than what you ever were. And yeah, 205 Live will always matter to me, Brando. Preach, damn it. Go check that out in the archives, folks, the Some Man's Brand, if you want to go check out that series. Freaking did not belong in the pre-show. They were better than the main roster. Bite me if you think otherwise. And of course, for those that didn't see the tournament, there is your updated bracket. Next week, Elena Black will take on Wendy Chu, and Jada Stone will take on Alicia Edwards. Oh, and the State of the Order 4 address introduced a new member, the Secretary of Strategic Operations. Mila Moore is now part of the Order 4, and Tasha Steele doesn't like it one bit. And also, there will be a vote internally by the TNA roster, levied by Mustafa Ali, who will determine the number one contender to Mustafa Ali's new, TNA International Championship. That and everything else happening here tonight on TNA Impact as we get ready for this main event. Big boot by Fabian Aichner, and both these men jump position, speed test right now, and a stalemate as Cedric regroups in the corner. Fabian Aichner, of course, for those that don't know, in a bygone life as part of Imperium, was a two-time NXT Tag Team Champion alongside Marcel Bartel, and a former Evolve Champion and a former, of course, New World Heavyweight Champion as Adrian Slavet. Longtime running mate, of course, of the European independent wrestling scene. Fabian Aichner is 35 years of age, been involved in this game now for 14 years. Quite an agile, dynamic athlete at 6 feet tall, 220 pounds. Big shoulder block there. Clearly offers a weight advantage in favor of the challenger against Cedric Alexander, who is literally, you guessed it, 205 pounds at 5'10", and was one of the mainstays of 205 Live. Get to the midsection, front face lock, looking for the suplex, able to escape. Former WWE Cruiserweight Champion, of course, and former Raw Tag Team Champion alongside Southern Benjamin in the Hurt Business. Pop up on the shoulders, fireman's carried though by the Gladiator, catching the champion, steamrolling over the champion forward, springing out the second rope. Beautiful follow-up moonsault out of the corner. Whoa, and up and over goes Alexander. Fabian Aichner on fire right now in the early going here. Again, the division that has been about no limits, not weight limits, since 2002 as the TNA Impact Championship hangs in the balance. And so far, Cedric Alexander taking all out sorts here. No system, by the way, alongside Cedric Alexander in this matchup. No Alicia Edwards, Eddie Edwards, Bear Bronson, or freaking Brian Myers. Tiger going into hands, of course, via pinfall submission inside the ring. Big knife edge chop as you see TNA President Carlos Silva, spineless, gutless, freaking corporate shill. At ringside, of course, Cortao cannot change hands via count-out or disqualification. Oh, man. Don't remind me. That was beyond ridiculous. That was when the Cruiserweight division was more moth than Enzo Amore when he had it. That was the original Cruiserweight Championship. Fabian Aichner apparently drenching Cedric Alexander and driving him face first on the apron. And Fabian Aichner right now using the outside to his advantage up to much the referee's 10 count. Again, just him face first down. Fabian knows, of course, he has to bring Cedric Alexander back inside the ring if he wants to seize the title. Cedric Alexander, by the way, folks, the 111th X Division champion in TNA history. Going all the way back to, as I said, the phenomenal AJ Styles, who had it by 2002. Oh, no! Caught off the springboard and the base up underneath him and went gut first across the top rope. Rebound inside the ring. Messy landing. And Cedric going to follow up here, bumping on the apron. Oh, God! And Fabian Aichner driven down the hardest part of the ring where wood meets steel. Almost an STO of sorts. Walk up by Cedric Alexander. And the champion now back in control. Now Cedric Alexander is feeling very good here. X-Plex release on the apron again. And of course, Cedric Alexander loves to employ that lumbar check. The backbreaker springboard offing his knees against his opponent, obviously softening up Fabian Aichner for that very maneuver. Of course, anytime you see a championship match, the champion, of course, has the champion's advantage, but sometimes that's not enough, and they will exploit every possible loophole they can to ensure they leave with the championship, and the system is the definition of that. See Fabian Aichner right now grasping his midsection, able to get back inside before the 10 count. Falling splash into the champion, and Cedric Alexander immediately back on the attack. Shots to the kidneys, cover here, and pressing down, forcing Fabian Aichner to exert more energy to kick out. And Fabian Aichner, we know how much of a beating he could take here after we saw that incredible little promo that told Fabian Aichner's story last week on TNA Wrestling. Knife edge chop there, and again, Fabian Aichner unable to get out of the gates since that horrible landing across the top rope and those double impacts on the apron. Irish whip, kitchen sink knee, bending the challenger up and over. Again, this is Cedric Alexander's first singles defense, but his second defense of the X Division Championship after outlasting Fabian Aichner and the Field in the Ultimate X match back at Slammiversary. Cedric Alexander won this in the best of 2 free falls against Leon Slater with the help of the system. Took 22 minutes, though. Now the abdominal stretch applied, once again further exaggerating all the vulnerabilities he has planted into that back and pressing his hand into the rib cage of Fabian Aichner. Not only is it hard for him to escape, it's hard to breathe. Almost a nerve hole of sorts here, and all the pressure right now on the upper right deltoid. And again, as soon as Fabian Aichner was looking for a reprieve, Cedric Alexander applied more pressure here. Champion keeping firm hold and control of the challenger. Alexander continuing, though, to just literally have his way against Aichner as this match continues here. Again, our main event here tonight. Again, figure for those that are tuning in, please like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend. We will be back here next week continuing to cover TNA Impact as the Knockouts inaugural television championship tournament continues here as this main event continues with the X Division title in the balance. And right now, fighting through injury, kick to the midsection, knife edge chop by Fabian Aichner. Alexander, Irish whip by the champion. Swinging up the second rope. High cross body risk. Came up with nothing. And Cedric going to capitalize. Big German suplex. Aichner set up and over. Cedric right now in control. Just throwing himself into the corner. Follow-up drop kick to the back of the head. Now the cover. Hook in the far leg. Back press to retain. Kick out at 2 by Aichner. Woof. Take a look here again, if you are watching with me, what happened on the replay here, just driving down almost an STO inside leg trip forward on Fabian Aichner, follow-up X-Plex, double impact on the apron to Fabian Aichner, and he has not been the same since. And right now, again, Cedric just teeing off against the Gladiator, as Italian. I feel like I need to say that with the proper, of course, Cristal. And of course, it is official right now to what happened earlier. Nick Nemeth will defend the TNA World Championship against Casey Navarro. If Casey loses, he can never come anywhere near or deal with Nick Nemeth again. And Elena Black will be going one-on-one with NXT's Wendy Chu in the opening rounds, as well as Jada Stone, the Spark, will be taking on Alicia Edwards in the final opening round match of the TNA Knockouts Television Tournament. Also, Flop Dollar and the Clown of TNA, Kazarian, will be walking this way with Elijah and freaking Moose. We also will see the Righteous Deletion as the Hardys will defend the TNA World Tag Team Championships against the Righteous at the Hardy compound. All that and more next week on TNA. And Alexander, to his merit, slides the outside of the ring. Aichner, though, is like, okay, why not? Now, Aichner looking to flop on the corner. Escalera. Whoa! High cross body to the outside. High risk, high reward, and the TNA faithful fired up here. And Aichner right now having a hard time, though, to recuperate here. Expelling far more oxygen as you see the heavy rise and fall of the chest cavity. But take another look here at this ridiculous show of agility. Going for broke and wiping out Cedric Alexander on the outside. And once again, Cedric Alexander. Aichner, spring a corner! Double springboard moonsault! Cover! Check, kick! 2.5 by Cedric. So close. Unbelievable to be that quick, that accurate, that precise with the double springboard, compromised ribcage and back be damned. Picture perfect double springboard moonsault, 2 9/10 to a new X Division champion. And we've been talking about, again, does TNA have anybody left that could leave an impact? Fabian Aichner could leave a huge impact tonight, winning the TNA X Division Championship in less than 3 months, let alone in his second ever chance at the title. And once again, might be looking to hook Alexander. Alexander able to skip underneath the waist lock, standing waist lock, switch and change, back elbow strikes. Aichner fighting back against Alexander. Aichner was looking for the ropes, hoisted up and over, lands on his feet though, as he might be looking for the lumbar check, and both men on the move, caught again. But it's a knockout driver! Hasn't done the dealer attack! Kick out 2 by Aichner. Oh, sudden right there by Cedric. Hooking up Aichner again. Brainbuster! And Cedric with the cover, hook the front leg, kick out by 2 by Aichner. Somehow the challenger's still in it. Whoa! Extremely impressive by Aichner here tonight. Instead, Alexander, to his merit, despite the system's mentality, putting everything on the line on his own for the X Division title, proving his value as a champion. Crowd chanting, this is awesome, and I agree on what has been definitely the most competitive match tonight here in TNA Wrestling on TNA Impact, Thursday Night Impact. The X Division, once again, proving why they are the ones you have to top that shit against. Now, Cedric throwing his shirt against Aichner here. Probably a little frustration coming out of Cedric Alexander, seeing how far Fabian Aichner is still in this match, considering, again, the last time these two faced each other was over 6 years ago. And boy, have both men changed and evolved, pun intended, by a former Evolved champion. Oh, knife and chop, and Aichner still trying to rally cry back into this match. Believe it or not, the first of these two faced each other, folks, was back on main event. Oof, was trying to, again. Alexander Young, he rules the X Division. Aichner just lives it. Oh, man, and wiped him out with a short-range lariat. And it looks like that's what Aichner needed now. As Aichner's fired up here, hoisting up Alexander to the top rope. This is the 5th time, by the way, these two individuals have shared a ring together. 2nd time ever in a singles encounter. This could be one of the best double underhook superplexes if Aichner is able to hook him up, Cedric, and Cedric able to create separation. Again, Aichner still grasping for air. Alexander. Oh, caught him in with a drop kick. I know what the cover picture for a retirement kick out at two by Sid Alexander. Again. Aichner right now looking to put him away as the gladiator calls for what Caesar would say the thumbs down, looking to hoist him up for that powerbomb. Jackknife float over, cover by Alexander. Aichner trying to bridge out with all of his might, despite the damage to the ribs and back. Able to adjust position. Got Alexander hooked. How's he doing this? Up high, sit down, powerbomb. And this could be I wins the title. Ty won the title shot. Cross the cover. Hook in the near leg. We got a new champion. Cedric gets the far leg on the bottom rope. This match continues. Great in-ring IQ and a very fortunate positioning there by the champion. Not even on his own merit. After the bounce on the sit-out powerbomb, Sid Alexander rolled his body towards the ropes. And again, Fabian and Aichner unable to fall immediately, but still stays on the attack. The champion's been robbed. Oh, and the rag of the eyes now, grabbing the trunks and throwing Aichner to the outside. And right now, Sid Alexander distracting the official here. Oh, wait a minute. A Boston Tea Party by Eddie Edwards. A fucking hit and run by the system. Damn it. And again, Eddie Edwards literally like a thief in the night, like the jackals the system are, the virus of TNA, rolling underneath the ring like nothing happened. Now Cedric trying to take advantage of classic, turn into a tainted catastrophe. Lumbar check. Virus infected cover. Two, and Cedric steals it again and retains the title. Damn it. An absolutely incredible match down the stretch, led with that shitty excuse of a finish. You just can't trust the system, especially when it comes to a one-on-one affair with a title on the line. That lumbar check saying arrivederci to Fabian Aichner's chances of winning the X Division title, thanks to Eddie Edwards' interception with a Boston Knee Party hit and run. It was Edwards who was lying in wait to hold. Oh, now look at this. These fucking pathetic parasites attacking Fabian Aichner, knowing he can't defend himself. Double team it. Wait a minute. There's Ricky Sosa, who turned down the Cesar saying hell no to you both. Double team Eddie Edwards and Cedric still 2-on-1. Once again, the numbers game coming into play here. Oh, what? Leon Slayer, there's the youngest in charge. Slayer, they wiping out Cedric, wiping out Eddie Edwards. A man looking to be the face of TNA, and bang, bang, Ricky Sosa double lariat. And the system right now on the back seat of Fabian Aichner, wiping out Cedric. Sosa wiping out Edwards. The system shut down tonight at the end of TNA after what was an amazing effort. Now Leon Slater looking to fly, clears the ring post, and wipes them out on the outside. Holy hell. Now that's a rallying cry worth closing TNA with. If the system is trying to take control, there is still plenty of elements against this cheat code. Leon Slater stands tall tonight alongside Ricky Sosa in a very admirable effort by Fabian Aichner. As TNA comes to an end, I thank you all for joining us tonight, leaving another lasting impact. Until next time, we are on your screen in YouTube or maybe in your X feed. Thank you for tuning in. I'm the Cement Noah Foster, reminding and encouraging you as always, make a positive impact in life. Have a good night, and thanks for tuning into our coverage tonight of TNA Impact Wrestling. We'll see you next time.